Good evening from Bill Snyder Family Stadium. I'm Dan Lucero of 580 Sports Talk, 580 WIBW. This is an instant reaction K-State video on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, and on Facebook at WIBW News. Give us a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, that is 580 Sports Talk for more videos just like this one throughout the football season. Plus, of course, our live broadcast of 580 Sports Talk, which airs weekdays from 3 to 6 on 580 WIBW and FM 104.9. Kansas State, a winner. The 18th ranked Wildcats beat UT Martin 41-6 in their 2024 season opener. And if it felt to you like an unsatisfying first 30 minutes of football, trust that you were not alone. Chris Kleiman just told the press in his press conference he felt like his team lacked juice, lacked energy in the first 30 minutes of football, and had just one offensive touchdown to show for their efforts, a 17-3 lead at the intermission that became 17-6 on a field goal from Tennessee Martin after K-State fumbled the opening kickoff of the second half. But K-State was able to hit the gas from there, and they really got rolling on offense in the second half. Were able to pull away, ended up averaging 8.5 yards a play. There's not much to complain about when you do that. 8.5 yards per play for the first team offense before they came out of the game, and they roll to the 41-6 victory. They close the game out with 24 unanswered points. And we'll start on offense. We'll start with Avery Johnson, the sophomore quarterback, making his first career start, and it wasn't flawless by any means. He did throw an interception. He had a couple of plays where he was out of rhythm, held onto the ball a little long, and he did at times look like a sophomore starting just his second career game, which, again, he is. Even with all of the hype, even with all of the expectations and all of the excitement, he is still a sophomore making his second career start. But at the end of the night, 14-21 passing for 153 yards, hit on 2 touchdown passes, both very similar play designs, one to Braden Lofton in the first half for Lofton's first career catch and touchdown, and the last one, kind of the dagger, a touchdown pass to his good buddy Dylan Edwards, the Wichita area connection, effectively ending the game with a 15-yard touchdown pass in the fourth quarter. It was still more good than bad from Avery Johnson, and frankly, I think you could tell what K-State thought about this game by the fact that they called one designed run for Avery Johnson tonight. They didn't want him running the football because they didn't want him taking any unnecessary hits, because this is not the game to have Avery Johnson take a bunch of unnecessary hits. Those games come later. This was not a game for that, and K-State managed it appropriately. So we didn't get to see the Avery Johnson experience in full tonight. We saw him largely confined to the pocket and making throws, and there were some he missed, but he also made some big-time throws. Beautiful ball over the top to Jace Brown, a 44-yarder that set up a 1-yard rushing touchdown by Dylan Edwards late in the third quarter to help K-State take a 27-6 lead at the time. More good than bad, and a step in the right direction for Avery Johnson, but certainly some things for him to work on moving forward. The rest of the offense, they showed off the speed, particularly Dylan Edwards. Man, he is going to be something to behold. 5 carries for 43 yards and 2 catches for 19 yards, touchdowns rushing and receiving for the former Derby Panther. And it's going to be fun to see what he can do in the backfield this year. We saw him line up with DJ Giddens in the backfield on some plays. Giddens, for his part, 13 carries, 128 yards. No touchdowns for DJ, but did break a 48-yard run at one point and showed off his ability to burst open in the open field. So we saw the speed on display for K-State on offense. We also saw the speed on defense. K-State's defense played fast. Got a shout out first, the former Hayden Wildcat, Desmond Purnell. He looks like he's going to hit another level as a player this year. I believe Chris Kleiman's exact words in postgame were, he's a freaking great football player. And he showed it tonight. He was making an impact early and often from his linebacker spot for K-State, flying up the field, impacting the run game. And then a lot of great pressure from K-State up front. They're rotating a lot of young defensive ends, but they got after it. 11 tackles for a loss and 4 sacks for K-State. And the star man at defensive end was former Wichita East Blue Ace, Toby Osunsomny. He looked like Reggie White on a couple of plays, just coming unblocked, untouched around the edge for a sack and a half tonight. Had another pressure to force a third down incompletion. Osunsami's got tremendous athleticism, and now we're starting to see it translate into on-field production, and that's really exciting. Brendan Mott was really, really good. Some other defensive ends, they rotate a bunch of defensive ends, and a lot of them made impacts. There were a bunch of guys for the K-State defense tonight who made plays. They ran through a lot of guys, got through their depth chart. A lot of guys made plays. It was a really strong effort for the K-State defense tonight. The first team held UT Martin to about 2.5 yards per play for the first 3.5 quarters of the game. That will play. That was as dominant as you want to see a defense be in a first game against FCS competition. I want to pause here for a moment, say hello to those of you who are joining me in the YouTube live chat. Vance is in lockstep with me. Dominant defense, young quarterback getting his feet wet, struggles to be accepted or expected. Barbara was impressed with the defense as well, saying it looks so good, and it did. I mean, 11 tackles for a loss and 4 sacks. That's big time. That's dominating the line of scrimmage. That's flying upfield. That's tackling well. Again, was it flawless? No, there were a couple of busts for some big plays that like BJ Payne would like back. He gave up the deep ball that helped UT Martin set up their first field goal in the first half, but you're picking nits at that point. There are things to work on, certainly, but a lot more good than bad. And K-State showing off the depth up front, which was, I thought, really, really impressive. And the depth at linebacker, too. Rex Van Wy popped tonight, really played a good game. That's what you're looking for in a game like this. You want guys not just to play well, you want them to pop. You want them to be noticeable and look like a different kind of athlete, a different caliber of athlete, different caliber of player against an FCS opponent. And DJ Giddens sure did, and Dylan Edwards sure did, and Avery Johnson, when he did run, which was only 3 times, he did. But defensively, you're looking for that too. And Desmond Purnell and Toby Osunsami and Brendan Mott and Rex Van Wy and Jordan Riley, the transfer from Ball State. I thought those guys really flashed and really dominated, really were excellent on the defensive side. And those are going to be important pieces moving forward. Mark impressed as well. Thought the defense kicked butt tonight, and they certainly did, holding UT Martin to just 6 points. Special teams. Vance wants to talk about the special teams. It's a bit of a mixed bag, I think you could say. You had the fumble on the kick return that opened the second half, and you had a kickoff go out of bounds. But again, you're picking nits. The standard is really, really high for this K-State team, a team a lot of people believe can win a Big 12 championship. So we are picking nits just a little bit. Obviously, special teams had a splash play. The block punt, Ty Bowman out of Chanute blocking a punt. Kobe McAllister, the 2-yard scoop and score. That put K-State ahead 14-0 late in the first quarter, and was certainly a big play in this game. Chris Tennant, 2 for 2 on field goals, made a couple of 40-yarders, 43 and 45. You like to see that. Punting game looks solid. Simon McClanahan had a couple of really good punts, down 2 of them inside the 20. So good work from him as well. K-State had a down year, special teams, last season. Not the standard that Special Teams U has set over the years, but tonight, more good than bad again, and a step in the right direction for K-State special teams. Kind of an ideal outcome, I think, from a coaching staff perspective. You win, and you win easily, and you get a lot of guys in the game. You get a chance to see what a lot of guys can do, but at the same time, there are still some things you can pick at and improve upon and focus on in preparation for the next game. And the next game for Kansas State will be on the road next Saturday. They'll be on the Bayou. They'll be in New Orleans taking on Tulane. The return game from 2 years ago when Tulane came to Bill Snyder Family Stadium and beat the Wildcats. Cats will be looking to return the favor next Saturday. That's an 11 a.m. Central Time kickoff. You'll be able to hear it right here. Well, not right here on the video, but you'll be able to hear it on 580 WIBW. That'll do it for me from Manhattan tonight. We are off on Monday for 580 Sports Talk. No 580 Sports Talk on Monday due to Royals baseball. Royals play at 3:10 on Monday afternoon, so we're taking the day off, but we'll be back on Tuesday. We'll react to this game and everything else that went on in the sports weekend, and we hope you'll join us from 3 to 6 on Tuesday on 580 WIBW, FM 104.9, and these same video channels, WIBW News on Facebook and 580 Sports Talk on YouTube. I'm Dan Lucero signing off from Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Hope everybody has a great night, great rest of their week, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday on 580 WIBW.